Hi, everybody, and welcome to Phandalin by Night. Thank you for joining us this lovely Sunday afternoon. We are so excited to tell the continuing adventures of our heroes on this journey. I need to say a couple of things before I let the cast introduce themselves. I'll be talking about it probably throughout the evening. The first is please go check out our YouTube. Please go check out our YouTube. I assume that Steve is there and gonna post the YouTube link. We are running a giveaway. We're desperately trying to reach 1,000 subscribers, which aren't like Twitch subscribers, doesn't cost you anything. And everybody who goes and subscribes is going to be entered to win a Dogmite dice sheath. They are so beautiful. And so please go and do that. Thank you for the raid, Critical Drinking, just to start us off great. I so appreciate you. And I'll be talking about that. We are in, after this episode right now, we will have only 3 episodes left of Phandalin by Night Season 1. We're rapidly drawing to a close, to a cliffhanger close of Season 1. And I'm excited for where we're going to end. And also I'm excited because we've started talking about Season 2 and what that might look like. So good for that. We do take safety seriously here on Vancouver by Night and here at my table on Phandalin by Night. So just off the map screen, you guys can't see it as a red and yellow marker. My players can tag that at any time and play can pause, change, shift. We can go to a break. That's something we do here on our show. We also have a chat. We list our red and yellow consent and safety features. If at any time you as a viewer are feeling a little bit triggered or uncomfortable by something that's going on, feel free to step away. Let us know in chat and we can like wave you back in when the thing is over. I use that all the time on the Vancouver by Night thing because, or on the Delve, the adjacent stuff, because the vampire stuff really gets me. So feel free to get us to do that. All of that being said, thank you for the subscription, Lowry. Thank you. I rarely get to call people out like pre-stream for that kind of stuff, and I try not to do it during the stream, but thank you for that. Okay, let me go and introduce my players. Let's start with Najra.
I was muted. Hi. I'm Najra. She, they for me and my character. I play Jard, the Fire Genasi monk.
Jard, the Fire Genasi monk, who is recently alive again, thanks to, look at, is it going to show? Look at this dope-ass Raven Queen shirt from Session 0 Games. Thank you for that. It was a DM gift for a different thing that I'm a part of, but it's a dope ass shirt and it fits. Nikki.
Hello everybody, Nikki here, she, her. I'll be playing Denny, the Tiefling Bard, he, him, and is very excited to continue to pay for this group's misadventures, including breaking tables, but hopefully the Banshee will have some better news for us and more money, so we'll see.
The Banshee. I love this Banshee so much. Amanda.
I'm Amanda. I play Whimsy, the Tiefling Warlock, he, they, and I don't think I'm as optimistic about talking to the Banshee as others are. Somehow the Banshee seems like she'll be reasonable. It does not sound like a sentence that is going to happen. So
we'll see. Potential. Behind Amanda is Droop. Everybody can wave to Droop. He doesn't really speak much. Sean.
Hey guys, I'm Sean. I play Nine, the human paladin, who's pretty much mirroring Whimsy's energy right now with this Banshee. So yeah, we'll see how that goes.
And finally, Sarah.
Hey, my name is Sarah. I'll be playing Graja Ragerock, the half-orc barbarian, she, her for both of us. And she really had a splendid time in Coneyberry. Thanks, Denny.
If you haven't gotten the chance to see our last episode, Coneyberry, if you're familiar with the Sword Coast and the Forgotten Realms, Coneyberry is probably a pretty boring place. That is not the Coneyberry that inhabits the world of Phandalin by night. It is with a little bit of extra planar spice. There is a tropical oasis, a thriving agrabah-like tropical oasis that exists there. And our heroes have just left, which is a great time for me to say what happened. The group had enjoyed the luxuries of Coneyberry, agreeing to take a package to Agatha for Stanfield the Satyr. An enchanter was commissioned to add some extra sturdiness to some bracers for Denny and to Nine's shield, meaning he had to give it up and he is not currently equipped with it. Graja also found herself a super bling ring. The group found a delightful variety of foods, potions, other goods, and enjoyed a night of fun and somewhat drunken debauchery for those who partook before heading to Agatha's lair. Sagane, on the other hand, found himself in the depths of Thunder Tree Woods under the tutelage of Sail Adenath, a wise woman, a young girl of a moon elf tribe who obliged his request for help at a cost that is yet to be determined. And you won't see Mike in our regular stream here for a couple of weeks because he and I are going to do something special to undergo that process. We're going to play one-to-one. We'll be releasing that with more information coming up soon. So I am super excited for the continuing adventures of Thunder Soul. It's like spin-off energy. So we're going to stay focused with this group right here. As you all grow closer into, you have to go into the Thunder Tree Woods a fair bit, and the forest grows dark and still as the trail winds deeper into these trees. Heavy vines and thick layers of moss drape the branches. The air is noticeably colder than it was even 50 paces ago. And rounding a bend in the trail, you see a screen made from warped branches of trees standing close together, woven into a dome-like shelter in the shadows. A low doorway leads inside.
So does anyone have any idea about banshees? I've never met one. I mean, it seems like maybe they wouldn't be like really nice or anything, but I guess I don't really know that for sure. Has anyone ever met one?
I've been told that I play like a banshee, but I've never met one. No.
Cause I almost thought like, could we do have a package for her, but you know, we could like give her something to make her like us.
We could just go up and say, Candygram for Mongo, and see what happens. I'm sure that'll be all right.
Yeah, maybe she likes candy.
I would like
And
to.
send them forward with the package in their shortest shorts.
I would like to just, while they're talking, just like scan the house to see if I see any movement inside, windows, lights.
Absolutely. Sure. Make a perception check.
It's a 16.
A 16, that's not terrible. A 16, you look in and there is a little bit of flickering light. It doesn't seem to be like roaring from a fireplace. Maybe there's a candle on something. It's a little bit elevated, but there is a little bit of like a stairway. There's a couple of steps that lead up into kind of the hollowed out branches of this tree where this dome of thick canopy resides over top.
Okay, so we have two options. We either kind of knock on their door or we try to sneak in. I don't know.
I feel like if we're here to deliver a package, she must not be that hostile to visitors, right? Unless she's incredibly hostile to visitors, and that's why he had us drop it off instead of him just bringing it himself. Maybe I'm overthinking this. I think we should knock on the door. I think that's probably the best.
Be ready
You mean
for
be
a
ready.
fight, but try to do the peaceful option.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, she's got to be expecting a package, so, I mean, even if she's not friendly, we do have something that she wants.
Yes.
So,
Quite right.
I think knocking on the door is okay. 9,
Whimsy
what do
quietly
you
takes
think?
a second, then Whimsy's just going to take a second and summon his weapon quickly.
Okay.
Just going to quickly magic girl his weapon out of nowhere.
A weapon, a shimmering weapon, appears in Whimsy's hand, right there where everybody can see it.
He gave up hiding.
That's fair. 9, what are your thoughts?
Honestly, yeah, I would probably just knock on the door, or I don't care. We can throw the package at the door for all I care.
Just like
FedEx style or something.
We need the
Yeah.
name, though. The name from for the guy.
Yeah, we technically need to talk to her either way. So
Yeah.
Might as well just knock on the door then.
So
Got it.
so George is gonna move forward.
Okay.
9 will go with her.
Okay. You step forward, and a home of sorts is sheltered within the dome of these woven branches. It is sparsely furnished. There's chests, shelves, a table, and a reclined couch. All of it is old. All of it is distinctly elven in style. It looks very similar almost to Viesa's house, except for much older. Like, whereas Viesa's style is more like craftsman kind of, Art Deco
Cottagecore.
style. Yes, this is much older. This is like Baroque style elven
Okay.
furniture.
Okay, since I don't see anyone, I'll be like, Agatha, we've got something for you.
The air grows cold, and a powerful feeling of dread starts to come over all of you. The hairs stand up on the back of your neck. Chicken skin, like goosebumps, shows up all over your arms. A cold, pale light begins to flicker in the air.
9's hand is on
Rapidly,
the sword.
all right, rapidly taking on the form of a female elf. Her hair and robes wave in this very spectral, ethereal wind. She might have been beautiful once, as you're looking more closely at her features, Jart and 9 being the closer ones, but this hateful expression twists her features now. Foolish mortals, she snarls. Why? I don't know why she sounds like Rita Repulsa. What do you want here? Do you not know it is death to seek me out?
Well, people have said that you're rather nice and they sent you stuff. And I'm gonna
the
kind of
package is
sign.
prepaid. It's fine. We don't even need a signature. We're just here to drop it off.
Oh, great. No, come on in. Come on in. If you could set it down. It's hard for me to grip stuff. If you could just set it down, that'd be great.
Of course, here you go. Nice place. It's real charming in here. Real nice and cozy.
Love the antiques.
So Denny is inside the house.
Yes, I have entered.
All right. Who else has entered?
Whimsy would have followed him.
Yeah, definitely. Garaja will come after Whimsy.
Okay,
You're gonna
Drew.
stay like near the door, like staying inside but near the door.
Oh, I thought Droop was probably just hanging on Garaja, and I was gonna bring him in as well.
Absolutely. Where move? All right. And what about the wolves?
The wolves are staying outside. They
Okay.
don't like inside at the best of times anyhow. They're
That's-
sort of searching the perimeter.
Yeah, 100% fair, 100% fair. Well, you've dropped off this package. You're a big group to do that. Thank you. I won't kill you. She kind of laughs at her own joke.
Thank you very much.
Let me see.
Sure.
I'm sure there's a tip somewhere around here. Hold on. And she goes over and she really has to like focus to gain kind of corporeal form to lift open a small chest. But she manages to kind of toss a platinum at Denny, who actually did the delivery. And she says, well, thank you. If you're headed back that way, please tell him that I do require kind of monthly shipments of this. So if he could just keep these coming, that'd be great.
Cool.
Yeah, we can tell him that.
And then Graja sort of like puts her hand or her arm across her heart and sort of bows, and she's like,
Miss Agatha, I was wondering, could I ask you a question?
Her head kind of turns and looks at you with this. Roll me an insight check.
sure. Insight. Okay.
Rolling with the Graja dice.
Rosen with the Graja dice, you know it.
First roll of the game.
Oh my god. Yo. I
These
get a
dice hate
one.
you,
I
don't
get a
they?
one.
Oh my
Oh.
I get a nat one.
Well, you're getting them out of the
boy.
way.
Oh boy.
Help me.
She gives you this look and you're certain that she is hitting on you. Like just undeniably.
Into this.
She has been waiting for a half orc badass to come along and rescue her whole afterlife.
Graja knows
Um,
this for a fact.
All that's going through
100%.
Graja's head right now is just the bow chicka wow wow noise. This is about to pop off.
And does anybody have a passive insight of like more than 16?
Inside,
Nope.
yeah, 17.
Okay. Jart, you see something different the way that she's looking at Graja. You see a spider sizing up its next meal. And her hands come to start tapping the fingers to each other, except for because she is a banshee, they almost like drift through each other. And she goes, yes, I would love to answer a question for you. One question. What can I answer?
Well, can I provide a little bit of context before that?
Sure.
Yeah, so, there was a guy not far from here, like a magic using guy, and, he was studying, these people that, were dead, and there was this magic all around the area, and he said that, like, there was someone responsible for the magic that was going on there, but he just wasn't really sure who, and he said that maybe you would know the name of the person that was affecting this area.
And out of character, I think I need a reminder of like what the area is. That Wyvern Tour.
That was
No.
the old
No.
owl well.
Okay,
So she's a
at the old owl well.
She smiles at you with this cold amusement. Ah, yes, the old owl well. I used to go on many an adventure there. Always something exciting happened. Whenever anybody was there. They didn't last long while they were there, but it was always exciting at the end. Yes, I can tell you the name of whom I used to go see there. Is that the question you're asking?
And Graja kind of looks around at the rest of the party, going like seeking a silent sort of approval. Like, is this exactly how we want this to go down?
As long as not the name of your ex, because we kind of know him.
You see the smallest hint of color on her very ghost-like features as anger flushes through her face and her horrifying visage drags like the pit of your stomach over a gravel road. Like, you do not feel well. She immediately flies up through the twisted and woven things, and if the camera were to follow her, the camera would see her searching rapidly to make sure that Hamuncost was not in this area, that he did not bring you guys here. A minute or so later, she comes back down. She is still angry. He sent you. He is who you are on a mission for.
Mm,
I don't really think I would say that. He just was there, and we kind of have our own thing going on that we're looking into, and he was just kind of part of that. He didn't really send us necessarily. It's just he was the person that said we should talk to you. That's really it. We're not working for him or anything like that. Don't worry.
and
So
if it makes you feel better, he spent the night with just a blanket and a bunch of zombies. So
And a
he's not
broken
having
nose.
fun.
and a
And a
broken
broken
nose.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, that does make me feel better.
Gotcha,
I tell you
gotcha.
what. So wait, you've come to me because you want to know the name of the person who was responsible for the parties that used to happen at that location. That's why you have sought me out. That's the information. I know so much. I am so connected. I'm just
Yeah.
making sure that's what you want to know. I'm happy to answer. But she kind of looks around and she almost, for those of you that are more insightful into people's characters, Whimsy, this may even fall you a little bit because there is a bit of this kind of like rich kid playing with the emotions and manipulations of who they consider to be lesser people that's going on here. She is bored and she wants some drama. So she wants to see what she can boil up between the group of you, because you're the closest thing to like reality TV that she's going to get, you know? This is like Big Brother Banshee Layer style.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Real Housewives of Phandalin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Dude.
so Graja sort of like,
I was like, yeah, so the name would actually help us a lot in terms of the things that we're investigating, but I mean, if you wanted to tell me more, I could make you dinner or something. I don't know if you eat food, but you know, or some tea, or I could build a shelf for you or something.
We could tell you the story about how I died, if that helps. I don't know.
No, I don't eat. I don't need furniture because I can't really sit or use it. Fine, I'll tell you the name. That's what you're here for. That's what you're getting. She hovers herself over the big chair that's at the base of that table and sits down and begins to tell you all this story of how these wild parties used to go down at the old Owl Well, back when it was like an outpost that was meant to be like a guard post that would alert the big cities if the giants were forming an attack party from like the Tribor area and were heading towards either Neverwinter or Waterdeep. It was like the first of a series of guard towers that could alert. At one point, the overseer of that particular guard tower, he was a necromancer named Cernoth, and he was a northern boy, quite interesting, quite a recluse, and quite deviant in his kind of predilections. He enjoyed seeing blood sport and things of that nature. He was from the northern city of Erebor, and this was over 100 years ago. She remembers that the last time she saw him, the guards from Waterdeep were there to arrest him, and he grabbed his spell book, said something, disappeared, and his spell book fell to the ground. And she grabbed it as she was fleeing. And that was the last time she had been to the old Alwell. So the person's name was Cernoth, and he was from the northern city of Erebor.
And you still have the book?
Oh,
I think at this point, Denny kind of sensing that she's just wanting to talk about drama. It's going to be like, so tell me everything about like these parties. What happened at these? Was it like a rave, or was this more of like a tea party? Like, what kind of vibe were we going for here?
yes, it was a bit like both of those things. I was there for the tea party, and we watched kind of the murder dome that was going on the, in the courtyard. But we had, finger cakes and things like that. He had the most delicious cream cheese. I don't know. There was like some kind of dill. Maybe it was like a fennel. I'm not sure. It was delicious.
And where would I get that recipe?
Say that again.
Where would I get that recipe? Just asking for a friend.
Oh God, if I knew, I probably would have stayed alive for it. It was delicious. It was fantastic. And I tried to take that pathetic man there once, and he was like, oh no, he wasn't interested. Now he's interested. That figures.
Also, we forgot to mention earlier, we also burnt down his tent. So literally fuck that guy.
Did you now?
Yeah.
Oh, that is delightful. Oh, did you manage to get like his journals and like his chemistry set?
Oh yeah, I think we did. Whimsy, do you still have that?
Yes, and actually, does any of this match what Whimsy was nerding out reading last night? Because I assume he had some of the information. Does her story check out with what was going on in the research papers that he was reading?
So the research papers tell, as you're starting to put it all together, what you're seeing is that they would have been an odd couple indeed. She was very much like a twisted goth socialite, and he was just the nerdiest nerd that ever nerded. He would have been obsessed. He all he mentions of her is like nothing sentimental, nothing that was like he cared about her, nothing emotional. It was just very clinical information. And whereas whenever she speaks about him, there's this still kind of pain, still kind of, anger over the whole situation. But his information did not have even remotely close to this. So whether or not he's even put it together that she used to try to invite him to this thing, and he had declined at the time, like he might not have put together where his girlfriend was trying to take him on a date, but what you were able to read from his books was that it very much was, there are vengeful spirits, and the closer that he gets to kind of being able to raise Cernoth is a very reluctant spirit to be brought back, and that there is something different. Like he's been able to kind of call forth many of the victims of this place, but and with like not that it's easy to do so, but it is kind of formulaic. It is at least a standard operation to do it. For Cernoth, there is something more, that there is some extra charm or protection that is holding him back.
So he knew already. Who was it?
Sorry, it did not have the name Cernoth.
Okay.
Just that it was, that there was another creature, probably much more powerful, that this is the only part, Whimsy, where there is anything even like human and emotional connection building social in the journals, is when Hamuncost is talking about this other spirit and how smart and wise he must have been, like a real like nerd crush kind of a situation. He clearly does not speak about Agatha in the same way. He does not write about her in the same way.
Deeply closeted. Got it.
Sure.
Closet crush.
And she really enjoys dishing on all of this. And she does seem quite happy to sit here and to trade some stories. She also, every once in a while, she'll say something else like, oh, in the more recent times, I guess, letting the owlbears pick apart the poor little baby goblins, her eyes flicker up to droop. That's kind of fun, but it's not, they don't put up the same fight. It's not like it was back in the good old days. But I guess they are a little bit more simple. So, it's the closest thing I can get these days.
Garage is like, if Droop's not like actively like on her, she wants to like draw him to
Under the cape.
to be like
Droop. Oh yeah, Droop is like fully under and behind your furs, on your back, like barely peeking his head out, and does not come out after hearing that.
Fair enough. Yeah, I want Droop by me.
Agatha, and what happened with the book? Like,
I don't know. I gave it to this woman. She was kind of interested. I think she was trying to be like goody two shoes and wanted to be kind of like honoring the victims or some bullshit. I'm not really sure, but like, she was boring me and there was really no other way to get rid of her. So I gave it to her. I don't know, really. That was 20 years ago or something. Cleric-y kind, like really good, boring.
Do you remember how she looked like? What was her ethnicity?
Halfling. She was one of the Tamora people. She really loved Tamora.
Okay.
And you guys would know, 9 in particular, our paladin, you would know that Tamora is one of the, one of the more well-known deities around. Tamora is kind of a goddess of fortune. Actually, I said goddess, but I don't 100% know that is true.
In this world, it's a goddess.
Lady Luck, that's right. In the Faerunian pantheon, she's Lady Luck. Her whole body kind of has the sheen of like a gold coin. She's the goddess of good fortune, skill, victory, adventures, and justice. And she was a big fan of, for as much as she was about justice, she was a big fan of letting coins and dice and other implements of luck or of chance be the decider of fate in some circumstances.
Okay. All right. And I think, well, your ex is not a very good person. That we all know.
It's true. That's true. I'm glad that you just said it plainly. We were all
Yeah.
thinking it, but you just laid it out there. Love it.
Yeah. Honesty is my thing. He said he's working in this area with someone called the Black Spider. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, yeah. He's the one before when I was talking about the owlbears and the goblins. I mean, not him, but like one of his, that's where I met him the first time. He was at one of the things. He seemed as bored about it, as bored by it as I was. That's kind of the only redeeming quality I can think of him right now. He's kind of a loner. He's got very like, I'm going to take over the world vibes, but like he's a little bit mediocre. You know, I've met better. That's all I'm saying.
And do you
He's
know?
the kind of guy that gave himself the Black Spider nickname, not somebody else gave him the Black Spider nickname, and he insists that everybody calls him the Black Spider. Like that kind of guy.
Her finger like goes through her nose, but she's like, I see you've met his type before. Yeah, he's a bit like, I mean, he's
Right.
powerful and all. Definitely, you know, he's got some tricks up his sleeve, but meh.
Do you know how what's his name? Like beyond the Black Spider thing?
No, that's really, and he calls himself it in the third person. You know, it's
Just
a
joke.
thing.
Or do you know where he lives? Like, does he have like a big manor that he, I don't know, makes
You know,
people
you'd
dinners?
really think, and anybody who's anybody around here knows to invite me to all the good stuff. So either he is just all talk, but I mean, the way that Clark talked about him, like he must have some kind of power. Anyway, look, I met him at Cragmaw Castle. I don't think that's like his full-time residence. I don't even think it was like a winter thing. I think it was more like an Airbnb. He was invited there to be a visitor, to be a guest for the, you know, Owlbear Goblin games. Or whatever, but like, I don't know. It was kind of a dud. I left after like 45 minutes. It wasn't worth my time going over there.
And do you know who actually runs Cragma? Like, who's real boss there?
Oh, yeah, he is, oh God, what's his name? Again, this Black Spider guy, he hangs around with a type, you know, like he surrounds himself with yes men and then gives them delusions of grandeur too. He's a bugbear, old bugbear, not even like strapping, you know, like not even like somebody you could look at, you know. And she turns and like winks at Denny. She is sorry, the king. He calls himself King Groll. I think he probably just goes by Groll. You could probably just call him Groll and he'd turn his head, you know, like I don't think you have to be like Your Majesty.
Okay. Okay, so all right. Well, you've been very helpful, Agatha, and I think your ex is gonna have to deal with a lot of things without the information that we learned. And he's probably gonna have to leave where he's staying. Otherwise, he's gonna freeze, and we're gonna burn anything he's built if he's ever built anything again.
Right. I mean, you could just not tell him, right? I don't know what kind of business proposition you have with him. You could just not
Oh.
tell him.
The deal was more like he would stop bringing zombies to their own life if we would give him the name, but I think the name is too important and we need to find a different way to stop him bringing zombies back.
I can think of a way.
Yeah.
I like that one. The quiet one. I like his idea. I'm just saying, if you're going to do it, take some of the holy water. I'm sure you've got it on you. Sprinkle, just drown him in it, you know, just like like fully submerge him in all of it, because I don't want him coming back and bugging me for an unlife. You know what I'm saying? Like really like dismember the head, separate it by more than a mile from the body, leave no burial trace. You know, we don't want him, you know,
Yeah,
coming
put
back.
him down on holy ground so he can't come back.
Hallow it, you know, the things that you do, you know.
Okay. Yeah, I like that idea. So thank you very much. We'll let the guys at Connieberry to keep sending the packages on the whole thing.
Excellent. Yeah, every month, tell Stanfield, every single month. That's really important. And look, if you guys seem quite capable, your group here, if you guys end up like with some real special shenanigans that are going to be potentially very bloody, you know, give me a call. I would love to come watch. I don't participate. You can understand. I need to stay neutral in this area. I'm a real Switzerland of the Thunder Tree Forest, but I love to watch. So hold on. And she goes and digs out, and she hands you this long, thin silver. It looks like a flute, but like a quarter of the size, just like a long, thin silver whistle. You can use this pretty much anywhere. And I mean, not anywhere, obviously has to be on this plane. It's got to be within, you know, like 600 or 700 kilometers. I travel real fast. Give it a whistle. Give me a good like 15-minute head start if possible. That's good for warm-ups and calisthenics. You don't want to go into a fight, you know, cold.
Yeah.
That's a good tendon rip. You know, that's an ICL tear waiting to happen. So if you just give me a little bit of a head start, I'd really appreciate it. And you know, you entertain me and I've got more information for you. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, that sounds like a good deal. I'm gonna give the whistle to Whimsy. For some reason, I believe that chaos can work together. Like,
Awesome. Whimsy takes that and tucks it in next to the dope ass raven.
oh
flute he's
yeah,
got.
we have too many instruments at this point.
Grabs
The bard
wrong
is
one.
carrying none of them. I love it.
Yeah, and the bard's carrying none of them.
Yeah.
I promise I'll get you something else.
Hey, Agatha. Quick question.
Yeah.
Just we can get you a gift at some point. What is it that they're delivering to you monthly? So if we see any or can get you any.
I take
Fine.
these pills for my sciatica. No, I'm just kidding. Don't have that kind of a pain anymore. You know, it's a special little baked good that they make there in Coneyberry. I love having them so close. They weren't always there. Obviously, it used to be, you know, the real Coneyberry. That place was an armpit. It's better that it's gone. Look, I love their, it's like a spicy jerky. It's delicious.
But I thought you said you didn't eat food.
I don't eat most. This goes right. I mean, I think it would have gone right through me even when I was corporeal, but it's, you know, it does now also.
Whimsy is going to do a quick insight check just because he's worried that they're sending her dodgy shit to.
Go ahead, roll an insight check. And sorry, your concern is that she's not telling you the truth of what they're sending her?
Or that she's, again, doing the edge around what it is, like it's people jerky or some nonsense.
Okay.
But I don't know, 19.
Yeah, she's not telling the whole truth about what this is.
Noted. Looking into that.
Coneyberry
Maybe.
pastries are people.
So
Soylent
how many
Green,
of you
for sure.
went shopping and ate a bunch of food?
So
he's like, all right, we'll keep that in mind. We'll try and get you some if we're in the area.
So excellent. She thanks you all and bids you all on your way. A platinum piece richer and a silver whistle richer and you
Oh, Agatha.
all.
Before we go,
Mm.
can you receive letters? Like if somebody drops off a letter, can you like open it and read it? I'm not sure
It
how your
takes-
powers work.
It takes effort, and for most people, it's not worth it.
But if I was to send you some absolutely juicy goss on our travels,
Oh my, I would love that. That would
Okay,
be
yeah.
great.
for sure, I'll start jotting those down when I come across them and sending them your way.
She seems positively like chuffed by this. And she says, if I may ask, one favor from me. When you do go see Hammond, give that whistle a little, you know what I'm saying? I would like to bid adieu.
Of course. I completely understand.
I support that idea. So how about we get back to Coneyberry, we report our mission success, and we probably need to stay there for a couple days while the magical items are ready.
Okay.
And I think Raja, like, upon like everybody exiting and stuff, she kind of like casts a lingering look back to Agatha, like, really nothing happened? Just kind of like, and maybe like rocks on her heels with her hands behind her back for a second, but then she leaves. She doesn't say anything.
She, I think you rolled a 1.
Yep.
There's definitely kind of like an unspoken invitation of like, if you want to stay, there definitely can be more going on.
I
In
think
whatever
Nine's
that means
definitely
for
looking at
her,
as well.
which may not mean the same thing for Graja. 9, as you kind of just give this glance over, you see her form start to become more transparent, and there's this burst of cold as what is left of her ethereal form dissipates, and the room becomes quite dark.
Yeah, he just puts his head back forward and starts walking.
Okay. So you all begin to make your way. Graja, it's a good probably 20 minutes before Droop finally like perks out from under your vest, and he's just like, I don't like her. I don't like it. Please never back her. Never.
Yeah, I don't know that we're gonna see her again. I think it'll be okay. Sorry.
Whimsy casually shares his suspicions as well about the food that she's getting and how she was being dodgy about it. Like, there were bad vibes about that. I'm definitely going to have some words with him about what he's given her and why.
Yeah, we can ask back in the town. But she was nicer than I think everyone expected, so that's good.
You can always try and kill her later.
Exactly.
I had no problem with her. You guys
I
are all
don't know
weird.
about that. Like, she's just minding her own business for the most part now.
She can't be on that bad of terms with everyone if they're sending her jerky.
And Graja kind of like, I feel like Graja always looks to Denny to like explain life and things like that. So Graja kind of looks at Denny. She's like,
So, the wizard was like, they used to be together in a relationship. It doesn't seem like anybody stays together around here. Does everybody always break up?
Well, my parents have been together my whole life. My grandparents were together their whole lives. I think it just depends on the person. Maybe once you reach a certain age, it just becomes boring. I don't know how long banshees are in, or how long elves stay in relationships for generally. I don't know a lot of elves. Maybe it's different for them. But I think you just need to really, truly care about someone and then you stay with them. Or you hate someone and then want to kill them. Like the banshee.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It just depends. It's just I've never seen anybody, you know, that's in a relationship and they stay together and they're happy and they do all the stuff like hold hands and stuff.
I mean,
Your parents
my dad
didn't?
and Titania do off and on, and they've been together for thousands of years. Ish.
And Graja kind of like looks down. She's like,
Um, uh, no, my dad left when I was like a little kid, and he just didn't come back. So I don't think he and my mom stayed together. It was a big deal when they got together because it was like the tribal alliance with the human and the orc, and he's the human and she was the orc, but she just was too worried about other stuff, and I think he just got sick of it, and so he didn't stick around.
I'm sorry about that. Have you ever gone out to find him?
No, I mean, until I decided to, like, leave on my own in the middle of the night, I didn't think about doing that. I just thought maybe I should try to focus on figuring out what I want, since when I left, I really didn't know anything about anything. And certainly when I was growing up, my mom didn't let me leave to go look for him, because, you know, she was kind of upset.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
But I don't
think
know,
you
he could
wanna-
be out there, I guess, somewhere.
Maybe.
And you
Maybe.
only have her version of things. You don't know the real reason why he left. Maybe he had something urgent to do. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really have the whole story, that's true. I mean, my mom is a really intense person, and she feels strongly about a lot of stuff, especially Groomsh. And she just, like, talks about Groomsh all the time, and is always, like, praying and reading the text and telling other people about Groomsh. I think it's mainly feels like she probably didn't have any time for him. That's kind of how I always thought it went down. But you're right. I guess I don't really know what the story was.
Well, maybe one day you will find your father and you can ask him.
Yeah.
and Graja just kind of grows contemplative after that and is kind of like trying to comfort Droop a little bit and just thinking as they continue on.
I think 9, after hearing that conversation, he's just like not really understanding where they come from, but just keeping to himself. Mm.
9, and
So-
what about your parents? Did you grow up with your parents?
9, I guess 9 would say I never had parents that I know of.
Okay, so where did you grow up in? Like a
My f-
monastery?
My first memories was of me in a military camp.
All right.
Did any who was taking care of you, like when you were really small?
It was like a room full of, there was many like myself, many of different other races, but it was just like there were women, but they were, I guess, nurses, something like that. But none of us never had parents, or they were never referred to as that.
Feel like we're learning a lot about each other in these woods.
Yeah, the most insightful tower walk.
Well, I'm sorry that you had to experience that growing up, 9. That must have been really tough.
It's kind of hard to miss something you never knew you were supposed to have, I guess.
No, that's fair enough. Well, you're always welcome to come visit me at my family's house if you're ever in my neck of the woods. Just a heads up, they are all very intense and they never stop talking about fabric. But As long as you're okay with that, come on by. My grandmother makes an amazing stew.
I guess I could have what you'd say might be a family, and they were extremely intense. But
Yes, it sounds like it.
might fit in.
And chosen families, even if they were not exactly chosen by you, they're also family. Like, I have two families. I have my family from the monastery and my biological family. And I haven't seen my parents in years.
I guess
me
we all
too.
kind of had to find our own way in a certain respect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
true.
we're kind of family too. Like, we live together, and we've died together, and we've come to life
one
together.
another.
Like, there's a level of bonding there.
Yeah,
Start.
yeah,
Easiest
you're
question.
definitely right.
If he gave you life, does that make Sangani your dad?
Well,
This is getting
Did
real
he-
intense.
yeah, like, was he, or was the Raven Queen, or was, I
figure
don't
they're
know,
your parents.
another god?
Mm.
So the Raven Queen is my second mom.
I feel like Lathander may have helped out with that as
Stepmom?
well.
So
Yeah, so
does that mean your birthday changes too? Or do you have two birthdays now? This is all very confusing.
I could cash out the two birthdays.
Yeah,
Like,
I would.
two
And especially
cakes.
since you have two sets of parents now, that's like four times the presents.
Yeah, I like that. I'd support that. So I have Lathander, Sangane, and the Raven Queen as my second set of parents. So it's like a triad polyamory thing.
I'm sure Sagani will love that.
And my biological parents. Okay, I like that.
Perfect.
Group leans into Graja's ear and he goes, what's birthday cake? What's that?
It's like what on the day that you were born, every year when it comes around, to celebrate, somebody makes you a cake and you eat it with your friends.
Why?
Cause it's great to be alive and celebrate another year that you've been alive and doing stuff.
Oh,
Especially because it's dangerous out here. It's an accomplishment to live another year, I'd say.
yeah. I mean, group life always dangerous. Even before. This is safer now. You're nicer. So, okay, birthday cake. I need to figure out. Can't ask my mom. She died. I will have to figure out when can I have a birthday cake?
Yeah, we should
will
definitely
get
have
you
a
the
whole
biggest
birthday
birthday
party
cake.
for you. On your birthday, and we can have cake and like a game, and you get a present.
And you hear like this little like hiccup just before you notice like this little feeling of wetness on your cheek. And he's just like, I would have friends to eat cake with.
Yeah, of course. All of us are your friends. Yeah.
He just like gives you this huge hug. And he just starts, you hear him occasionally for the next like hour or so, just under his breath, kind of planning what he would hope for like a birthday cake. And you hear him like sometimes be like, chocolate, no, butterscotch, funfetti, it's complicated. And like planning out what he thinks he would want his birthday cake to look like.
That's gonna
But
have to be a
my-
very special episode of Phandalin. Is Drew's birthday party? I want that now.
Such a good one shot.
Like, with my 19 of passive perception, George's gonna be making like mind notes. And as soon as she gets into the town, because we're gonna spend 2 days in the town waiting for the enchantments, she's gonna order stuff
Okay.
with
Heck yeah.
Danny because she doesn't have any money, so she needs Daddy
I got you. Don't worry.
to authorize the expenses.
I love it so much. You guys make your way back to the tropical oasis of Coneyberry, which doesn't look like much from the outside. But as you enter, as you get close to the gates, you all feel that familiar kind of sensation of trying to push through Jello. And you pop through to the other side of this amazing and beautiful town. The warmth just heats you up, makes you feel so just so much better. You know, kind of like going on a vacation to a warm place. It's just, you feel better from the second you pop through. And you do pop through. And so, you know, Stanfield is kind of marshaling. It looks like there is a convoy of several carts that are getting ready to depart. And he's kind of checking through some documentation and paperwork. It's never nighttime here. It is always daytime. And so people are going about. It seems a little bit less busy. So it may be the closest thing to kind of nighttime that they have. There's not children running through the streets, for example, but there are plenty of people on the go. You guys have some time in Coneyberry if you'd like to.
Well, we said we were gonna talk with Stanfield to let him know, like, hey, we're back. And let him know that everything well with the package. She said continue sending them
Yeah.
month by month, and that the jerky is really good, and I want to see how he reacts to the jerky part.
Okay.
That's it. And for me from Stanfield, and I'm gonna take Danny to a side, and we're gonna plan a birthday party for tomorrow night for Drew.
It's gonna be a rager.
And he needs, like, the thing I want to get, like, besides the birthday thing is he's not wearing armor, right?
Droop, I do not, Sarah, you'd have to confirm with me, but I don't think Droop has anything on it. Maybe he has like a dagger that's like the size of like a long sword for him or something.
Yeah,
Thought he
I
had
don't think
some
that was
tiny
ever like
crossbow.
said.
And he has a
A crossbow?
He had a tiny crossbow.
Okay.
Like he was a shoulder mounted.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
the
Right.
crossbow
But
turret.
armor, no.
Okay.
So yeah, get him like a leather armor
Mm-hmm.
as his present.
He just had the dope clothes that Denny made for him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
left
right.
over
Yeah.
too.
He's got a real fancy outfit, but no armor.
Yeah, I think
He
if he's
doesn't
gonna
try.
travel with us, he probably needs a better AT. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, and he's got like 7 hit points. So, you know,
Yeah.
anything you can do to help him out.
Yeah, like boost him a little bit, and
Yeah.
and like and cake and candles and
Okay. Who else has something that they would like to do in Coneyberry?
He's
9,
gonna try and find out more about it, because
okay.
after the possible people jerky thing, he's really not trusting Stanfield, and anything that requires messing with your head to come in, he's kind of dodgy about.
Okay.
So he's gonna try and investigate the town and look for shady shit.
So let's deal with Stanfield first. Jart, as soon as this caravan kind of goes on its way, plopping through kind of the jelly wriggling field that is at the exit to the town, you have the opportunity to go up to Stanfield, and as this caravan is going away, Stanfield says, oh God, I can't, his voice. Stanfield says, excellent job, everybody. So look, caravan, safe passages. Thanks for visiting us. And he turns to look at you, Jart, and he goes, they're good people. Those are the St. Pete by night people. They're real good people. Thank them for coming by this evening. Thanks for the raid, St. Pete by night.
Thank you.
And he says, they're good people over there. So what can did you go see Agatha?
Yeah, we did, and we survived, and she got her package.
Excellent. And did she like try it on for you? Is she happy with the quality?
No, she didn't. Actually, she said it was jerky. So,
Jerky.
yeah.
She said it was like, did she look at it first? If she's not happy, that's not good.
No, she didn't. She didn't look at it, and she didn't ask us to open
Oh.
it because, like, she kind of told us that it was really hard for her to open packages.
That's true. Yep. I will put it in a bag from now on. Lovely. So she didn't say anything about it?
No, but what was
Okay.
it? Like clothing?
No, wigs. She really loves wigs.
Oh,
She loves dress up, you know.
okay. Wait, Bimsy, are you gonna do the insight check? I see it in your face. Oh no.
Getting some very different answers from them.
Abigail, no,
It's
no. Thank you, thank you though. It's great.
Or
16.
Abigail. Sorry, what was that, Amanda?
16.
A 16. He seems to be so relieved that she wasn't unhappy with the product that he catches himself really quickly and he goes, you know what? Should not have mentioned that. I should not have said that. That's her business. It should have stayed between me. Please don't tell anybody. And he seems to be legitimate. He is sending her wigs every month.
But it's okay. We know she likes to attend events, and you gotta look very good when you attend events. And like, that's normal.
So great. Thank you for doing that. You guys, you came back so quickly. You're planning on staying?
There's a few
Yeah,
things to wait for.
This
Do you guys have a Chuck E. Cheese around here anyway?
Chuck E. Cheese. I
Or
don't.
Crash Trolleys? McDonald's
I-
Play Place?
Oh, yeah, we do have like a playground place for kids. We do,
Okay.
yeah, over in the residential district. This little satyr guy who sounds much more like Danny DeVito than I am able to muster this evening. Points you, begins to kind of trot along, carrying a clipboard under his arm, a pencil over his ear. He trots along and he's like giving you guys a tour. You guys are now come back for the second time to Coneyberry. It's a little bit more familiar. He's more comfortable with you guys being here. And he starts telling you, about the different districts that there are. There is a residential district that's more, it's not the suburbs, but it's a little bit, it's more for the families that need a quieter place in the evening for the kids. There is a vibrant bazaar and shopping district. There is an industrial place that's more towards the back. They do some processing of different metals and things here, just because the heat, kind of helps things to set properly. They can do certain ceramics and kiln like pottery because the heat keeps things really dry. Resins, suck in humidity, so this helps. So, there is a lot of things about this. Whimsy, was there something specific you were trying to pick up about where this is?
Where it is and like what the purpose of it is. Like, he gets a hidden thing because everything's really unsafe, but also he's used to people lying without lying, and so he's looking for the lie, essentially.
Right. He seems to be fairly forthright that, you know, and you think back to your first time here, you and Denny weren't allowed in until you underwent some kind of like examination of your psyche almost to make sure that you weren't hiding anything, that you didn't have ill intent. He seems pretty forthright that this community, and as he's telling you the stories of, well, this family has been in the collective for 900 years, and this family has been here for 300, and this family's fairly new. They've only been here for, you know, like 20 years. This is their first generation. As he's telling you the different stories and as you're looking around, what you're seeing is a lot of people who clearly, you know, there's a bustling business to be done here, but people come here looking for, that would have faced maybe some discrimination or at least some apprehension in other areas. They come here because everybody's welcome. There are a number of human families. They tend to be more boisterous of humans as far as you've met humans to be. Certainly none of them are as reserved as 9 is, for example. And you don't see many elves, which is not totally shocking. What you know about elves, at least, you know, prime material elves, is that they're a little bit snooty. They're a little bit, you know, thinking that they're above others. Not all, obviously, but there is kind of that. They're French, you know what I'm saying? And there's some, sorry, Steve, I'm going to get the channel demonetized. And there is a ton of languages being spoken. This is a very multicultural area, and it's a place where tieflings are, Afridi are. You don't see a lot of like goblins and bugbears. There are some drow, which is interesting, especially in the bright sun. But there seems to be, you know, they all carry like parasols just to protect those delicate purple features that they have. But yeah, otherwise it seems to be what he says is that it has grown as more people have come, but it's a place where people can come and be safe and have thriving business. He does mention that it wasn't always here, that it has moved probably about a dozen times over the years as, you know, different places have become settled and then abandoned and settled and abandoned. This is the closest they've been to the big cities in probably 1,200 years. Usually they're much further out. They spent quite a while in up in the frozen north, but that created its own problems because even though it is its own protected place, whenever people would come and go, a certain amount of heat would leave, and it was melting the glaciers. It was a situation. So when they saw that Coneybury was abandoned, some of the traders had mentioned that Coneybury was abandoned recently, and they've been here for just not very long, for about a month.
Whimsy glances over at Denny and is like, do your parents know about this, as traders of exotic and nice goods who are of a
I've
not always
never-
accepted race?
I've never heard of this place before. My father has never mentioned it in his travels or anything, so I don't think they do. Which means it's an untapped market. Yeah, I might have to get some business cards while we're here.
Okay.
Whimsy's doing his best to help money-wise.
And you guys spend the better part of what, 3 days enjoying the city, traveling together if you want to, going out and doing things separately. As soon as Stanfield shows you guys the playground, Droop is all over that. And over the next couple days, I'm sure that there's lots of like field trips down to the park. Graja gets in with like the local mom circle, and has several good conversations with the moms and dads who take their kids there. And Droop is beloved by the other kids, and has several friends by kind of the end of the
Yay.
second day that he can invite for a party if he wanted to.
I'm so happy for him.
Little
love
Droop's
to see it.
growing up.
I know. He's come so far from hiding under a bed.
Oh yeah, and we not killing him.
Way to go,
Can you
us.
imagine how different this? Did
Oh
you
my
know
God.
that like I'm on a Lost Minds of Phandelver DM group, and about half of the parties just kill Droop before they even know his
I-
name?
Yeah.
Cannot
Oh, dare.
fathom such a thing.
Mhm.
Not at
Like
this
I
rate.
understand, but why?
Yeah.
Racist.
I mean, they see a
Not all
goblin,
goblins.
Yeah.
and they go for it. So we will say that a party is held in Droop's birthday honors, and I would love to do it as a one shot where all you guys play little village kids. I
That'd
think
be
that would be so
hilarious.
much fun.
That'd
So
be
I'm not
fun.
going to narrate what happens, because we're going to do a special charity
yes.
one shot.
Great.
Oh my
I'm
God.
into it.
next time the channel does a charity day, we're going to do the Droop's birthday charity one shot.
I support
so
that.
there you go. So we will purposely leave it vague and just say much fun and shenanigans are had, and you are all exhausted at the end of that party, and get to bed early. 9, how often in the kind of the 3 days, how often do you go to check and make sure that your shield is there and she's still doing the work?
9 is there every day.
Just
Like-
standing
like-
outside
Three-
the entire time.
Yeah.
Staring.
3 times a
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, he's there like in the morning when they open up, like checking in at lunch, the whole 9. And then if he's not there, he's with the party, just making sure he stays close by them. But yeah, he's checking on his shield quite often.
So
Absolutely.
in those 3 days, George's gonna ask 9, when is his birthday?
Would 9 know his birthday, DM?
9 would not know his birthday. Birthdays, I think, were definitely not something that was celebrated. There was kind of a ritual that happened at the camp when you made your first kill, and that would have been kind of noted every year that you were so for some people their first kill came at as old as like 10 or 11 or 12. 9 was very talented, and 9's was very young. 9's was at about 6, and he was the oldest by the marker that they made, even if he wasn't age-wise the oldest of the group. And over the years, it was a day also to remember the fallen, of which there were many in your group. You were one of the very few that remained in your kind of early platoon of like 30 boys. You were like one of 3 that made it to 15.
Yeah, I guess 9 would say
This is giving me
Never-
very Witcher Trial of the Grasses, young boys
Yeah.
killing, which is like, ooh, so grim for little 9. I feel bad.
Yeah.
yeah, 9 would just basically look, he's like, I've never really celebrated a birthday. I guess he would explain to him how the only slight little remembrance or whatever they would have for their achievements, but yeah, we really never celebrated.
At any point, 9, have you have you taken off your mask in front of them yet? Or are you still like taking meals separately and?
9 hasn't taken off his helmet yet. The only time he remembers is in little Feywild when he was transformed, but he still kind of sneaks off and says his prayers, and at that time he'll usually have his helmet off for a brief moment, but besides that, he hasn't really taken it off yet.
Okay. And yeah, he tells you this story of how, you know, you get another little glimpse into what his situation growing up was. And for better or for worse, you know, you all, even Graja had fun moments with her mom and with her group, like with her tribe. 9 really stands out to all of you as having had this very different life experience. And you gain some more empathy for, you know, the fact that he has come to be with you all, and just providing a very different viewpoint. Anybody have anything else to do before you can pick up your goods? No? Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Third day rolls around, and this morning, 9, as you approach the shop, the woman is already standing outside waiting for you. And she goes, I've got it. I've got it for you, darling. I've got it. I finished it. I stayed up all night because I just need you to, you're scaring off potential other customers by just standing here and menacing, loitering outside my shop. So I finished it for you. Okay.
I do apologize, and I'm very grateful.
Look, I'm very glad. I understand you're very attached to this. It will serve you even better now. And just, you know, you can make it up to me by telling everybody who it was that did this for you. Okay. This is good. This is great work. Okay. This was detailed. So you just, you know, share with, I mean, locally, we don't, obviously, I'm sure Stanfield's told you, we don't really talk about Coneyberry outside of, you know, we don't talk about the, actually, they don't call it Coneyberry. You guys have gotten in the habit over the last couple of days that they call it the collective. We don't talk about the collective once, you know, you leave the grounds, but certainly anybody inside, let them know. And you're welcome to bring me any commissions. You know, if somebody has something, feel free to, you know, be a subcontractor or whatever. That's fine. Be a middleman. I'm okay with that. So yes, here you go. And she hands it over to you, and you inspect it. It is your shield. It looks exactly the same, but as soon as you grip it and you like slide it over your forearm, you're used to having to be like, to pull down the leather straps to tighten them up. She has replaced the leather straps, and they no longer have buckles, and they no longer have the ability to be tightened or loosened. They just, as you put it on, they just automatically fit comfortably and snugly around you. And that is your first sign that it is, that it has a little bit of extra sparkle to it. It is definitely arcane now. And it is lighter. It feels a little bit lighter, you know, which may come in handy for something. But
Yeah,
you now have your shield.
9 kind of just leans his head down a little bit and says, thank you.
My pleasure, darling. The bracers are ready also. Did you want to take those to your friend, or do you think he'll be coming to get them later? What's the... I'd rather like to see him again, you know, if you don't, how about you send him to me? I would love to see him.
I will do that.
Thank you. Bring back anything, and, you know, we'll get you to relax. We'll get you a a hammock or something next time, some daiquiris. You don't have to be so stressed. There's never been anything bad happened in the collective ever before. Those things don't happen here.
That's good to know. Not stressed, just trying to always stay vigilant.
Fair enough. That sounds exhausting. Send your friend, and I look forward to seeing him soon.
See you soon.
And you hear like this deep sigh of like relief as you walk away. Like she is definitely glad to have that commission completed. You weren't a problem customer, but like, let a woman do her work. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
and Denny can go by anytime later. She kind of casually makes a note, makes sure that you see her drop a little scroll into the special package that's holding your bracers. And when you unroll it, I assume that at some point later you'll unroll it and look at it.
Yes, definitely.
It's just, a little flyer for some of their activities that they have going on in town. It's written in Infernal, just, as an extra personal touch,
I appreciate that. Is this happening tonight or?
Oh, third Tuesday of every month.
Okay, perfect.
Come
And
back.
does I get my ring?
You would have been able to take your ring right away.
Yeah,
It was
I
already.
think you
Oh.
already have it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yep. Cool.
Nope,
Got it.
that's okay. I mean, if you want to buy another one, she'll sell it to you.
No, one's good.
Okay.
I don't think we have that kind of money anymore.
Maybe.
It's
Depends how fancy you want to get.
fair. And there's this third day. Where do you all think that you're going, or what is the plan? Have you guys talked about what comes next?
I mean, I feel like in order to like close the chapter, so to speak, on what we've been doing here, especially with Agatha, I mean, we'd be going back to the
Old owl.
the old owl well, to tell him about what we learned and see kind of his reaction and see where that gets us in terms of further investigation. That's kind of what Graj would be thinking, is like, well, that's the logical next step, is to tell him what we learned and then see what comes of that and then make a decision based on that.
George doesn't want to tell him what we learned. George's idea is to just make him leave and go back to his city or whatever he needs to be, but to leave that side alone, because whatever he's trying to reach is big and dangerous and shouldn't be touched.
Also, if he's working for the Black Spider, anything Black Spider wants, we probably don't want. So.
Yeah, same. Yeah. And if the Black Spider is working with Kragma Castle, the people in Kragma Castle are the same people that were taking money from Phandalin. Like, they are the baddies from the area.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he's really going to leave if he's working for the Black Spider, though? Even if we do try to insist.
Well, we've taken everything he needs, at least for the time being, for his research.
Wrecked his equipment and took his research papers.
His research.
Start from scratch with nothing.
Yeah, and the closest town. Oh, that's it. I'm gonna tell Stanfield before we go. I'm gonna describe the wizard. Be like, if this guy ever comes nearby, don't let them come in. He's a necromancer.
Stanfield, as you're talking, he pulls down his pencil and starts kind of sketching out this person who you're talking about, and shows you to make sure that it's an accurate representation. you're like, oh, the nose is a little bit slimmer and the chin is a little bit, or the nose is now more broken also.
Yeah.
And the jowls are a little bit more jowly, academically jowly. I'm sure that that's an adjective. And
course.
absolutely. And he's like, I really appreciate this. Thank you. Thank you for this. And he writes just no admittance across the top, and then pulls the sheet of paper off of the clipboard and like tosses it, and it goes and flies and smacks itself on the gate. And that's when you notice that there's a lot of do not admit. Some of them more
Okay.
tattered and worn over the ages, but there's a lot of names here.
Okay. Yeah, that way if he needs equipment or whatever, he has to go back to one of the bigger cities. Like there's no towns left in this area where he can get any equipment at all. So even if we don't stop him, we would have delayed him a couple months at least.
And if we take care of his sponsor in the meantime, then
Yeah, then he's not gonna have any resources to retake his investigation.
As you're telling Stanfield the information, there is this other slight look of concern that comes across his face. And he says, and like, as you're telling him that, the cities are in tumult and like that there has been just some bad stuff going on. It's not like that's news to him, but he says, if there's people around that are good people that you would vouch for, that are looking for a place to start over, we could expand a little bit. We're in a position to expand a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. So, you've been around for a few days. You can see we're like humans can settle anywhere, right? Elves, they do their own thing. Dwarves can go to the mountains if they need to, or to the cities. But if there's other people who would find it harder to relocate, bring them with you and we'll see what we can do for them.
Well,
Whimsy sort of pauses for a beat and is like, what does it take to get a house here?
I mean, it's a little bit like if there's one that's available, you just kind of set up. As long as we like you, you can just kind of set up. If you're needing like your own villa or something, it takes a little. There's it's not cheap, but we try to help people. People that come to us don't often start with a lot. That's why we get them to contribute to the conversation. There's been a few people who came, used our resources, got themselves a leg up, and then bailed on us. That did not go well.
Right.
But for the most part, people come, they build their lives here, they build their heritage here. Their families stay because that's what the collective's about.
we may not be the ones that come, but there is an elf named Viesa, and she's been actively moving people from all the towns and roads and stuff. So she is trustworthy, and if anyone needs relocation, would probably be led by her.
I see. I don't know her myself. But next time Rydoth comes into town, I'll ask Rydoth. He might know.
And we'll probably let her know, like, that the people that help you with the package or something, like a keyword, whatever, so it's easier to recognize her.
Couldn't we
Right.
just send her a message from that message
Ooh,
place for?
yeah. We can
Yes.
send her a message.
I mean, I would prefer to maybe meet her first and just make sure. I'm sure you're vouching for good people, but I just, we've had some unsavories that try to set up shop, and we're very protective. We got little ones, we're not allowing just anybody in. And so I maybe bring her at some point and let me meet with her. And, we don't want unlicensed realtors out there selling our locations. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Completely fair.
Yeah. I don't know when we'll see her, but yeah. And I don't know what we're gonna do after dealing with this wizard guy. Do you know
We've got
of
to go
any
back and
like
talk to VS anyway, don't we? Afterwards?
what?
Do we have to go back and talk to VS after we deal with this necromancer anyway?
I don't know. That's a very good question. What are we gonna do afterwards? Because it takes us maybe like 1 day to deal with a necromancer, if it went any similarly to the last time.
Hopefully.
But then what do we want to do? Do we want to like walk back to Piazza, which is about a week? Or do we want to like find trouble or people that we can help around here?
Well, don't we
There were
still
some
have
other
some?
things you pointed
I'm-
out to us, wasn't there?
What did you say, Whimsy?
Yeah, what?
Weren't there a couple other places on the map where she said there was trouble we should look into?
I'm gonna unfold the map.
All right, let me get my mouse to wake up.
I just remembered the 3 here, which we thought they were gonna take longer.
So looking at the map of the Sword Coast here, where Agatha's lair is, the Old Owl Well, Wyvern Tor, and Coneyberry. She had marked out Cragmaw Castle as being the place where the original caves and stuff that you met her and Sangane in, they were shipping, they had like all those boxes of goods and crates, and that they were sending them somewhere. She thinks they were sending them to the ruins of Cragmaw Castle. And that's a bit away from you guys. There's also an abandoned village called Thunder Tree, kind of north-ish.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of what we do afterward, I was hoping that maybe he would tell us something about, all this stuff that has to do with the Rock Seekers and the job that we were doing originally, and
That we never got
Glassstaff?
paid of.
I still have to go kill him.
That would be back at Cragmaw Castle, probably.
Yeah,
that
but
was connected to the original thing with.
But we've said that there's probably an army at Cragma Castle, and we can't face an army. So
We can if we're smart about it.
yeah, we can ask the mage and maybe take the road south again and see if we find any other orcs or goblins or bugbears. See if they're still active after the 8 weeks that we missed or whatever.
Is Droop with you guys while you're having this conversation, Raja?
Yeah, I think he's just on my back.
It's chilling.
Droop will remind you that Agatha mentioned Cragmaw as the place where the baby goblins and the owlbears
We're made to fight.
Okay. That's right.
Yeah, and we had like when this whole thing began, there were a lot of reports of orcs, goblins, and bugbears going towards the castle. So
If that's the new blood sport arena, then we might want to mess with that, because that might also be what they were recruiting villagers and stuff for and kidnapping them.
Yeah, that too.
Oh, we could all pretend that we're going there, and I could be like the competitor, and it could be like we sneak in and pretend, and I could splash my face with blood and really be mean and scary looking.
So, quick question. How small does the portable hole feel?
How small? Say that one more time.
How small? The portable hole. Right now I've got it like flopped up as a pocket square.
Yeah.
How small
Yeah.
does it hold?
Like fairly, like think of it as like the size of like a handkerchief. However small you could fold a handkerchief.
Okay, Whimsy's like, I've got a plan. It might not be a good one, but hear me out. We put all of our good stuff in the hole. I pack the hole up really small, chipmunk it away. We get ourselves caught. We're just a bunch of randoms fleeing all the trouble in the land. We purposefully get ourselves caught, taken to Cragmaw. They put us in a cell or whatever. We break out because I whip out the circle. We're fully equipped again. We break the hell out of there, break everyone else. We break out from within instead of trying to enter the castle from outside where it's kind of impenetrable. Get ourselves kidnapped.
A very interesting idea that I think might actually work.
I look at 9 with his like full plate armor, a massive shield, weapon, and a helmet that he never takes off in front of us. And I'm like, how do you feel about this?
Oh, it's a good fucking plan, but god damn it.
Or Danny could use his like Danny and Whimsy, which you both have a lot of like good communication skills, could by like convince people that we're there to fight and we will still be inside. And
Yeah, there are other ways we could do this. Definitely. We don't want to
Also,
force you into something you're not comfortable with.
Whimsy's like, I can cast invisibility on him.
Can you cast silence on the armor moving around though?
I mean, if they're going to be moving around with a bunch of other people, there's going to be noises, but I can make him invisible for up to an hour. As long as he doesn't attack anyone, they'll kind of notice it then.
Yeah.
I have it on good authority that you can walk quietly in chainmail or in plate mail.
That's full plate.
When you try and hustle that it gets loud. I know from experience.
He's walking like a little kid in a snowsuit.
At least no one's gonna see you.
It's true. Yeah. It's true.
I'll just play the banjo really annoyingly as we're walking, so no one will pay attention to the clanking noise.
We have to cast like 13 spells on 9 so he can get in, so he can sneak in.
Yeah. 9 wouldn't. He's like, I think he would agree to do this plan. He doesn't want to like steer too far away from the group, so he would agree to go along with it.
He would agree to take off his armor?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh yeah. We will I think we can end here. Like, what? Okay.
So let me ask, where are you guys going? What is the plan?
We have to go to the well.
To the owl well.
We still gotta go there. To do whatever we're gonna do with this guy.
Yeah.
That's the first step.
Okay.
For after, I say Cragmaw Castle, because Whimsy still wants to finish this deal with the goddamn Rock Seekers.
Ooh, before we leave, the messages that we send, they're not like message, they can't reply, right?
You mean that the person sends
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the gold? It's not like message, no, or like sending.
Yeah.
It's a different spell.
Okay. Yeah, well, let's go to Old Owl Well and see what the mage is doing there.
All right, so the group makes their way south towards Old Owl Well. Are there any things that you're doing as you draw close? It takes you, a few hours to get there. Are you guys bringing Denny and the wolves, or sorry, Droop and the wolves with you, or are you leaving them in Coneyberry? And coming back and picking them up? What's the plan?
I actually think that Graja, after spending a couple days in Coneyberry and seeing him like Droop get along and make these like little friends on the playground, I think she might have actually seen if he could stay with somebody for a couple of days. If we've been talking about like potentially going to the castle, which is presumably going to be extremely dangerous and not for a 7 hit point goblin to be there. So I think she would have tried to talk to the other like parents and maybe try to arrange like for him to stay for like a week, 2 weeks, or
Sleepover.
something like that.
Sure.
Like 3.
3 weeks. Okay, yeah. So like to basically stay there until the majority of the like huge danger has passed. I think she's just like she thinks that he's got the ability to be with other people now, and especially from how safe she's seen that Coneyberry is.
He agrees to stay while you guys go back to Old Owl Well. He doesn't like seeing the zombies, but
Yeah.
he very much would like to go with you to Cragmaw Castle because he wants to be there to help save other goblins the way that you saved him.
True. Okay, so he'll stay, I guess, then for now, and then can swing back before we hit the castle eventually, if that's okay with everybody else.
Sounds good to
He's
me.
got a chainmail that's made out of rings of protection. So he's got like 8 rings of protection on.
Yeah, that'd be great.
We can get
Um,
him into leathers and
yeah. You guys buy him some travel leathers for when he does come with you. The leather maker says no problem. They custom fit some designs,
Perfect.
and they'll work on something while you guys are at the Old Owl Well. And you guys leave him with a fairly nice Earth Genasi family. It's 2 dads and they've got like 15 kids. It's like one of those like mega families. Kids who are not easily scared and not like Drip can kind of play a little bit rough with them and they're not going to get hurt. And some of their kids are like older, like they have like from like 18 down to like a baby, but Droop mostly hangs out with like their kindergarten age. They have twins, two girls that are in kindergarten, and Droop really gets along with them.
Love this for him.
I love this for Singlis, who has to go write all this lore down so that I'll remember it later. This is my favorite. And so that's where you leave him, and you guys make your way down to the Old Owl Well. That's where we'll pick up. Well, we're going to pick up in a couple minutes because next week is going to be pre-recorded. So we will get to continue this in just a few minutes. Satisfying. Yes.
Yeah.
But you guys aren't going to get to see it. My viewers aren't going to get to see it for another week. Let's go around and introduce ourselves while you're listening to my wonderful players talk about themselves. Steve, look, I have it on my sticky note. YouTube, please go to YouTube and click subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. It's not like a Twitch subscription, but we are racing to get to 1,000. There is also a contest that you can win something by Dogmite, a dice sheath by Dogmite, which they're beautiful and gorgeous, or maybe it's a player tray, actually. I could be wrong. And an all Tremere player tray, because I have it on good authority. Tremeres are the best.
That is correct.
Prince Jude.
That
You
is
can
the
send
right-
hate, Kara, Vancouver by night, because I don't want to hear it.
Come at me on Delves on Saturday.
And more prizes may be coming soon, Steve says in chat. So with that being said, Sean, we're going to go to Mr. Nine himself first.
Hey guys, I'm Nine, a human paladin, and I got my shield back. The most important thing. That's me. You see me here on Sundays. I'm on the Icewind Dale campaign on Fridays. And I'm acting foolish on most social medias. So yeah, that's me.
Love it. Nikki.
Hey everybody, Nikki here. I play Denny, the Tiefling Bard. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter now, because I had to make a Twitter, at I'm Poppy Fields. I'm here on Sundays with these people, and I'll be in the upcoming Rangers of the North game as well, which is starting soonish. Check back. And yeah, nice to see you guys. See you next week, but not really, because we won't really be here in real time, but like, we'll see you.
I
We'll be
will
on the
see you
chat.
next week. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of us will be in the chat. Amanda.
I'm Amanda. I play Whimsy, the Tiefling Warlock, who's just very excited that he had a good idea for a change. He's full of ideas, but they're rarely good, so he's just really excited that someone told him that it sounded good. So
Victory.
I don't currently do a lot else. I make a lot of TikToks, because if I'm getting painted orange, then I'm gonna hang out and do dumb shit like that.
Heck yeah.
And yeah, I know it's not dumb, it's fun.
It's
fun.
great.
It's dumb and
Yeah, Queen of TikToks.
No, of course.
Excellent TikToks. Please go subscribe.
That's pretty much all I do.
Najra.
Hey everyone, I'm Najra. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the raid, the love, everything. It's been a fun game. I have a little company called Najra Creations. I'm a professional cosmaker and custom wedding gowns designer for all your geek needs. So and I'm running a sale on everything, 15% off, because I'm moving. It's expensive. So check my social media and order if you can.
Definitely order, because the stuff that Najra has is amazing, and you want it for sure. Sarah.
Hey, my name is Sarah. I play Graja Rage Rock. You can find me on Twitter at MC Diabetes. I'm also a creative partner at Martlet Games. You can see me here on Sundays with Phandalin, and also as part of the Saturday Vampire Takeover in Vancouver by night, delve into darkness as Prince Jude Duncan, the fledgling Tremere Prince of Vancouver, of all the vampires. Not to mention that the changelings of Vancouver also think I speak for all vampires in the world. That's also canonical. Just to add that little feather in my cap. So you can find me there. That's at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. You can catch me in the storyteller seat for Vampire the Masquerade in London's Bleeding, my historical chronicle. That the second and final season is coming out soon. And if you are so kind enough to join the $5 Patreon tier at Martlet, you can see the first episode already out. And the second one is going up very soon as well. So you can actually get a head start on the next season. So do consider that. Other than that, just follow me on Twitter to see what I am doing. Have a bunch of guest spots coming up in various games, so you'll see me all around. And I really appreciate all the love today, the raids, everything like that. And don't forget about the YouTube. Thanks, everybody.
And I have been your Dungeon Mistress, Sarah. We are now officially with our last 3 episodes of season 1. And I'm so excited for where this story is going. You can catch me here Sundays on Phandalin by night. You can also catch me starting next Friday, April 15th, as the narrator for Lord of the Rings, Rangers of the North, over on our friends DMDM Studios. Nikki's going to be playing in that. It's an all-female Lord of the Rings cast, and I am just so excited for that story. We're playing a 2d6 system, the Decipher Coda system. So we're excited for that. And some other stuff. I'm going to do a Blades in the Dark miniseries and Urban Shadows sitcom. It's like a horror thing, but you guys all know I don't do horror. So it's actually going to be a sitcom style that I'm going to be the storyteller for. So stay tuned for all of that. You can also catch me Thursday nights on my own channel doing Community Cleric, which is a show, an interview show that uplifts women in gaming. And yeah, we are going to go raid the Time Lord's wife, who is doing some wonderful programming. So when you get there, remember to click their name so that it recycles over to them. My lovely players, I adore you all. I don't go anywhere because I'm going to see you in like 5 minutes. The rest of you, I will see you next week. Thanks everybody for watching. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.